through the Dustavar experience that we have on our BlizzCon show floor today.
Hello. Good to be here.
All right, we'll just get right into it. While we're sort of looking around these guys who are mysteriously frozen in place, can you tell us a little bit about what it is that you do on the World of Warcraft development team?
You bet. I've been working with quest designers and in quest design since way back in Burning Crusade. And now, for this expansion so far, I'm supervising the Kultiran continent, so all 3 of the zones here in Kultiris, and I'm working with our quest designers and trying to help impart some of those wisdoms that we've picked up over the last decade or more.
Awesome. Well, so far this is extremely creepy. There appears to be a giant effigy of some kind.
Right. So to give you
around.
a little bit of context, you get into Kultiris, and you find that the houses of Kultiris are in a bit of a power struggle, and one of the overarching goals that you have is to unite these houses. And one of the main houses, House Waycrest, no one has heard from them in weeks, which is really odd. So you're sent to kind of go reach out to them and try to bring them back into the fold a little bit. And when you get here, you discover that things aren't quite right.
Indeed. So, looking over here, this was Mayor Cyril White, who I was sent here to speak with. While still breathing, he's unable to move or respond. Let's look around for the source of the spell. The effigy looming in the town center pulses with dark energy. If it could be destroyed, the spell might be broken. All right, well let's give that a try. Well, that went poorly.
You're not good at destroying effigies.
All right. Let's see. I've got a. Was it this guy? Okay, there we go. Effigy is protected by powerful magic. Seems it'll take more than brute force to break this curse. Let's check this note that Cyril over here was posting. Investigate the villagers' writings in Fall Haven. There may have been strange happenings in the town lately. All right, so let's check that out. I'm going to kind of speed through the quest text as we go through this, just to get to as much of it as we can.
So that's one of the philosophies, right? A lot of, especially really young designers, they come in, and everybody, that we bring on is super creative, and they've got really interesting stories that they want to tell in WoW. And one of the things that's important to learn early on is the show don't tell philosophy that we have, right?
Sure.
We've got to we try now to put these together, assuming that you just don't read the quest text and that you can really kind of glean what's happening just by playing the game.
All right, so clearing out some of these guys here. We'll check out this thing. Don't know where these blasted flies came from, but they've returned each morning for a fortnight now. So I have a bonus objective here as well that I can do. I'm gonna not worry about that again too much. Again, just for time, because since the BlizzCon demo is limited to 20 minutes, we want to make sure we get to as much of this as we can. All right, so continuing to explore the town here a little bit, looking for. There's something going on over here, I believe. If I come inside here, aha, yes, some notes. Don't know who you think you're fooling, but I've seen you sneaking out into the foothills while you think I'm asleep. Ooh, someone up to no good. Better not involve that crazy woman in the woods. So the last guy was talking a little bit about someone off in the woods as well. So it seems like maybe we have someone off in the woods who's up to no good, basically. Always important to, if you see a pig that glows like this, I recommend hitting them with your sword immediately.
It's a tell, yeah.
Yeah. Usually a bad indicator of pig health. All right, another note here. These guys seem like they've been having a bad time. Apologize for the delay in the latest butchery shipment. It's given some plant scraps by the kindly old woman down the way for my pig feed. Afraid it may have been tainted. All right, so
it's a good thing I'm here to help translate this. I don't know if you picked up on any of it, but I think there's an old lady out in the woods. That's the kind of storytelling.
Yeah,
It's nuanced.
yeah, real subtle. Just making sure that only the most devoted of
That's
players
right.
really can pick up on it.
But that's one of the things, right? Is just kind of that repetition
Yeah.
and making sure that we.
This is also like the very first quest of the first zone in the expansion.
Right.
So, all right. All right. So now we have to go confront the old lady out in the woods that the notes have all been pointing towards. It's nice of them to all have written down exactly what their thoughts were immediately before getting caught in whatever spell this is.
It's a life lesson.
If you think you might be about to get caught in a spell, maybe write down what you're thinking at that exact moment.
That's right.
I seem to have gotten slightly off the beaten path here, but that's fine. Come around over here. And I'm noticing a lot of treasures showing up on my mini-map as well. I haven't been chasing them down, really, but I'm definitely seeing a lot of... Similar to what was in Warlords of Draenor as well as Legion, there's a lot of like little extra things to find around the way.
Yeah.
How are you?
We don't get many visitors to Fallhaven. What brings you to my home? Well, apparently you've been like casting spells on everybody, so that's bad. Listen to her story in the Shrouded Foothills. Oh, she wants me to take a seat.
What's the worst that could happen?
All right. And, oh, that immediately went poorly.
Instant regret.
Instant regret. Silly paladin, this village is mine. The mother has willed it. You should turn away now, lest you share their fate. All right, so I seem to be fine, which is good. There's a little note over here.
If she had a mustache, she would have been twirling it right there.
You'll never catch me, paladin. Destroy the 3 lesser effigies in the Shrouded Foothills. Okay, so just sort of skimming over that quest text. Seems like we found... Oh, there's someone sitting over here, too. Go ahead and pick up this quest. But it seems like we found that effigy in the center of town has additional effigies around that we need to take care of.
Right.
Okay. Also need to kill some enthralled animals for reasons that I skimmed over.
Just because.
Just because. I mean, they're enthralled animals, and it seems wise to go ahead and take them out.
That's what you do.
Yeah. Can't be saved, so we're just gonna have to put them down. I mean, these guys seem like they probably weren't very nice before they were enthralled anyway. So
No, and if you think about it, if you were an enthralled animal, you would want somebody to put you down too.
Got an interesting looking guy over here, Balethorn. Not sure if I want to actually get close to him or not. Let's come over here and get this effigy. But yeah, I was noticing it seems like a new model over there for the Balethorn creature.
The character artists, man, they're so fun to work with. It's so great. We'll sit down and we'll kind of jam out kind of what we want the zone to be about and some of the storylines that we want to tell in here, and we'll get something that we're kind of excited about. And then I get to sit down with other teams, the different artists, character artists, prop artists, and everything, and kind of tell them what we've got going on. And man, those guys are great. They get super jazzed about it, and we end up getting stuff back from them that is, 3 times as good as we had in our heads. So it's fun.
That's awesome. Very collaborative sort of process. It sounds like
It is, and you can just see it when people get that look in their eyes. Oh, this is great. This reminds me of this, or they're sketching in the meeting, and then by the end of the meeting they turn their page around and you get to see this. Yes, exactly that.
nice. And that can like help add creativity even to what you end up doing in the quest design as well, I'd imagine.
Man, it is. It's this circular, this like synergy. We just build on each other. Like I said, we get models back from those guys that are better than we even, or that spark thoughts or quests or whatever that we hadn't even thought of before. Or maybe they'll have an animation that we see, oh, now I've got to do this, and we definitely feed off of each other.
So one of my superpowers while questing is to accidentally pull way more mobs than I actually need to. So I'm going to try and clear through those as quick as possible and avoid pulling anything extra. Alright, another effigy here. I think that's the last of the 3 effigies. Yeah, looks
Got
like
'em.
it is. And of course, I have to
That's right.
get an extra bird while I'm at it. What?
Spotting's another one of those tricky things, right? I mean, we'll go through, we'll play this a lot, and we'll either thin it out or thicken it up in places. In places like this that are outdoors, where we don't have a whole lot of blockers, sight blockers, we want to make sure that we give you enough challenge that it's interesting.
For sure, yeah.
Just
I'm not
fall
like,
asleep.
I'm not being overwhelmed or anything right now, which is good. So that was a little sort of like wicker dog thing.
Right. So thematically here, as you're about to see, we got to play a little bit, or you saw her transform there just
Yeah.
a minute ago. That was one of the hooks for this zone, was the whole Salem witch, Blair witch kind of vibe, and what would that feel like in WoW? A little background: this zone was actually going to be a frozen wasteland in the north.
Oh, wow.
When we first started developing the expansion, and we got a certain ways down that road, and it just wasn't. People just weren't really feeling it, and the witch hit was just this ancillary, like, oh, it'd be kind of cool if, as a tendril of this story, you've kind of got these witches, but that was something that really resonated and that people latched onto. So we ended up recreating the zone here, and that was one of the things that we ended up kind of tripling down on here. We're real happy we did. It's a really cool hit for a while.
Yeah, definitely. It's a sort of like there's been hints of like witchcraft here and there in the past, but we haven't really had like a real focus on like this is actually the main storyline in the area before. And it's so far it's really cool.
Yeah, it's something. It's translated really well into the game, and obviously it's not it's not the exact Salem witch stuff. It's a WoW version of it. There's a really cool storyline that actually fits the WoW universe, but you still get that vibe here, and it's something we've had a lot of fun playing with.
Definitely. All right, so now that I have destroyed the 3 smaller effigies, let's try breaking this one down once again.
Learned how to
So we
destroy
did it.
effigies.
Oh, but everything went worse. Everything's gotten much worse.
This is a little foreshadow of the overarching. I won't spoil anything, but of the overall zone story. So, as you're playing through the zone, things like this, you'll start learning why and how this is.
So this is like a giant wicker sort of
Right.
brute monster I'm fighting here. Taken care of. He's going to phase back to his realm. And Cyril, you seem to be doing much better now.
You fixed him.
Fixed him. All right.
Good thing you showed up.
Exactly, yeah. Let's go ahead and pick one of those. All right. Meet with Constable Henry Framer at Hangman's Point in Dustavar. All right. Looks like, so that's opened up a bunch of other quests in the area as well. This sausage vendor we were talking to earlier, he also has a quest.
Elijah.
Yeah. Has some issues getting sausages. All right. Go ahead and pick up all these quests. We're not going to have time to do all of them, but go ahead and pick them up. This person's grandson has gotten lost around the caves to the north, and the Trogs might have got him. Oh, no. And we'll pick up the flight path, because if I have to look at that on the minimap, I'm going to go crazy.
Right. Can't not do it.
Yeah. All right, so let's see here. I feel like the kid that got lost up in the caves had it coming. I'm not going to worry about saving them right now.
It's a good call.
I want to go check out the Hangman's Point, because that says the Waycrest daughter, which was the Kultiras house you were talking about earlier.
Right.
But I also want to find out what's going on with these sausages, because I do like sausages.
So this is kind of another facet, just that kind of in-game, especially in WoW storytelling, is we try to be really conscious of what I call player bandwidth, which is, how much are we asking you to remember, and how much are we asking you to walk around with, right? We know you've got guild chat going on, you've got, pet battles and professions and being pulled off into dungeons into a totally different space, and so we've got that little top bit of your focus, and we want to be aware of that and really tell these stories, and again, with the repetition, make it so it's really easy to plug back into them. So we've got to be careful about how many things we lay on you at once, and hopefully all these things kind of complement each other and give you that whole holistic vibe of what's going on.
Nice. So I just kind of picked up all these quests here. Can you give me a quick run through of what's going on in this area?
So what's happening here? The guy that you just interacted with I think he went home for lunch. He came back, and all of his buddies who were responsible for the pig farm here have been actually turned into pigs themselves.
Oh dear. Oh yeah, this pig is wearing goggles.
Which, yeah, is a problem.
They seem to have done nothing for him.
Those were not goggles of pig proofing.
There's another guy over here wearing a belt of some kind. What are you wearing, sir? It's a pack pig. So last one was Trevor Hightide. Travis Daybreak.
It's like they sneak in some developer names here every once in a while. We just can't help ourselves. Or it's just an odd name for a pig.
Yeah, I mean,
to stand out.
I mean, I name all of my pigs after WoW developers. So.
Give them a surname. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, here's more of that wicker ecology, right? We're just kind of talking about what kind of creatures we might have in an environment like this, where we've got some witches who are playing around with some supernatural powers, and this is what we came up with.
Yeah, it's a really cool vibe. Like everything has gone horribly wrong, but in kind of a creepy, you don't really know what's going on sort of way. Sort of unknown occult.
Yeah. And just playful enough to be WoW. If you get time, man, just listen to the music and hear the sound designers also, like I was talking about, the character designers, they really get into this and give us better than we expected. This has some of the best music and sounds, and those guys always surprise us, but man,
this guy
knocked it out.
Yeah, it's really, really good. This guy also seems to be afflicted by the same sort of energy, I guess, that was on those pigs we saw earlier.
Right.
Although now that I've killed him, it's gone, so I guess, sorry.
You cured him.
I cured him. 100% success rate.
So that model that you just fought, this is actually a new human model that we have. It's kind of a bigger, beefier guy. These Kultirans, their backstory, they're just a super hardy people. So it was really nice that we were able to get a new human model. We haven't seen it fleshes things out quite a bit.
I just want to point out that this pig is named Burke Stevenson.
Oh boy. They got me.
It's a wonderful hat that you're wearing, but I think you should probably stop being a pig.
I think I got trolled. We're not even on that continent.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Get out of here.
that's nice.
Go be a human again.
I think I know who did that.
Gonna have an uncomfortable talk with him later.
Who's this one?
Kyle Saleford. Yeah. All right, so of course I have to aggro. Oh,
You left a few of them unkilled there.
what have I done?
What's that?
Let's just go ahead and cheat for a second there. Use lay on hands, top myself back off. Really?
You're really good at pulling stuff.
That must be what it is. I'm just so skilled. That's how come I keep having to fight everything.
That's right.
I noticed there was another quest inside here.
Ah, there you go.
Oh, and of course more of these that I have to kill. Couldn't just leave any of them sitting around.
You're getting better at killing wicker things, which is going to come in handy later.
Bring the pig fetish to Thomas Stoughton. That is a disgusting, gross. Two pig heads just sort of like tied together.
I don't know. If you're a sausage farmer, maybe that's awesome.
Yeah, I guess. Just really into head cheese or something.
Oh.
So here we go. Turn in all of these. Hopefully my men won't have to remain pigs for long. Chopped up all those guys. Took out the butcher. Go ahead and take that. Have to try something else to remove the curse. Let's toss it into the campfire. Okay.
Ooh, we need a bigger reticle for that.
I almost missed.
That's right.
All right, there we go. I noticed that this guy is now sleeping.
It's
Everybody else seems
exhausting
okay.
being
Yeah.
a pig.
What can I do for you?
I can imagine. All right.
Have a good one.
So now he says we're all done. We've taken care of these guys, and they should be all good. Let's head down and check out this Hangman's Point.
You've solved the sausage crisis.
Well, good. If there's one thing that I could accomplish here in Dustavar, I'm glad it was making sure that everyone has sausage.
That's right.
All right, so heading down there. The environment here is really like spooky all the way through. I'm noticing like that just sort of slight haze over everything.
Yeah, we've been dialing that in. It's this whole eastern side of the zone is kind of just planting the seeds of the mystery that you're going to solve as you work your way westwards through the zone. And it gradually gets creepier. I love what they've done here with the environments. There's pockets in here. You'll see they're just kind of Hansel and Gretel and fairy tale kind of environments, and it just gradually, as you go west, it gets creepier and creepier, and really culminates in a cool place.
Yeah, it's looking really, really cool. Coming up through here, trying to find this Hangman's Point. Oh, it looks like we're coming up on it right now. This is a cool little sort of central... I love that there's like little posters stuck on this post too. It sort of really makes it feel like there's like people that live in this area.
So yeah, they're if you look at this, right, this is like a sail mast. And
Yeah.
I love just all the architecture that we're building for this. Those guys, again, just really over delivering. But this Kultiran culture, they spent generations at sea before they found Kultiris and founded this place, and became this super hardy. It's still just part of their culture everywhere. It just kind of emanates that shipbuilding and seafaring kind of vibe.
Yeah, there's even like ships just hanging out over there. Looks like a retractable bridge, like a clockwork retractable bridge of some kind. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So coming up here, you can see in the chat log that the constable is attempting to try Lucille Waycrest over here for practicing witchcraft. So we'll go ahead and talk to him. Assume you have a reason for interrupting this trial. Yes, you had a quest marker over your head.
That's right.
You should have thought about that if you didn't want your trial to be interrupted. Speak with Lucy Waycrest. All right. Oh, riders approaching from the woods now. So there's a little bit of dialogue going on in the chat right now. It looks like the marshal has arrived and is ordering the constable to release Lady Waycrest. The constable is saying no, she's being accused of witchcraft. And the Lady Waycrest is actually saying no, don't take me away, stand down. Apparently she wants to have the trial.
Good day to you.
Here.
Right. So these are her people, right? It's a small village, and our guys did a great job of kind of recreating a little Salem witch trial setting here. So instead of just being heavy-handed and pulling her out of this, she's trying to solve the problem, put their minds a little bit more at ease.
Okay, so actually have the trial so that everyone knows she's innocent.
Right.
Rather than...
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, maybe she's not actually innocent. Maybe this trial is going to go terribly.
That was actually a version of this we're still kind of playing around with, is what if you stumble upon this first before you go and see some of the other content and see how messed up things really are. And so here there would be that kind of question in your mind. So we still might play with the flow of the zone a little bit.
Yeah, that could be cool. Like if your first arrival, like I thought the intro into this with you arrive in a creepy town where everyone's sort of like possessed or something is very cool. But I could also definitely see an angle where you you show up and it's like, hey, how's it going? You know, just hanging a witch real quick while you're here.
Exactly.
All right. So that puts us at just about out of time. We'll go ahead and look at what these quests this guy is going to send us on. He's saying that the wildlife can serve as eyes to dark powers. Kill them. He's not really explaining what that means, but just using my WoW player intuition, I assume he's saying that people can use the wildlife here to spy on us.
Right. Some familiars for the witches.
Yeah, in case of ambush. He also wants us to place some traps in case we get ambushed. All right. So that's going to go ahead and conclude this little demo that we're showing here to you guys.